Hello everyone, I'm Captain Himanshu Bhagwat from HIMT, and today we are going to talk about a very important, pertinent topic, that is stress at sea and its management. It's affecting a lot of people today and it definitely needs an address. And thanks to my organization HIMT, who has given me an opportunity to bring forth this topic and discuss about the management of the same. What are we going to see in this PowerPoint? We will understand the nature of the stress. What are the red flags where you should be aware that this is going to need a management and an address, and prevention and management of stress. This PPT, this program, this YouTube video will also help the people who are not sailing at sea to understand our problems, what kind of the problems the seafarers are facing, what are the stress they are facing. What is stress? Stress is a natural response to a threat, whether real or perceived, which induces a fight or flight response. And because of that, there are certain hormones which are released, like cortisols and adrenaline. Now, we are examples of stress in shipboard life. When we go and take over the ship, there is a lot of stress because we have already come from a long way, and then we have to start immediately taking over. It creates a lot of physical plus mental stress. Some people are able to manage it, but some people really feel it hard. Second, there are inspections, port state control, vetting, various surveys. They create a lot of stress. Thirdly, news from home. Any news from home coming, which can cause us anxiety and stress. Illness, illness of any kind, of our own illness or illness of family members. And another example can be communication gap with the shipmates, because we sail with multiple nationality people. So there might not be any particular reason, but just because of communication gap, the interpersonal stress becomes too much to handle at times. What are the typical reasons of stress in shipboard life other than a normal land-based jobs life? The seafarer he has to suffer isolation for long voyages. Secondly, there is heavy workload and long working hours. Although there is rest management software is there, but still sometimes it goes beyond control, and because we have deadlines to meet, there are sometimes short ports, short durations of the voyages. Thirdly, unpredictable weather conditions, and sometimes, many times, we are facing rough seas. The vessel is rolling, and we have to continue our work. Strict regulations and compliance pressures. Every port state you visit, every flag of the vessel you do, it has got their own regulations which you have to always make sure that you are complying. There are varying time zones affecting sleep. You are going many times. There is every other day there is either advancing or retarding of the clocks. That affects our sleep pattern and our digestive system. Everything it definitely affects. Family separation and communication challenges. This is one of the major reasons we are away from our loved ones. Communication, although now most of the companies they have different kinds of satellite communication, but still it can never be compared to be in physical touch. You see, another reason is neglecting mental health and well-being. Now at least there is some awareness is coming amongst everybody that yes, mental health also is possible, that anybody and everybody can be affected by mental health, and it is earlier it used to be a taboo, but it should not be. If we are suffering from any kind of mental issue, we must bring it forward, because there are solutions are available. If we seek the solutions, then definitely we can get it. Another reason is lack of physical work exercise. Some seafarers they make sure to do regular exercise, but very often, management people, management level officers and all, they are so busy with their work that they are not able to find sufficient time to go to a gym or to a treadmill. Or also sometimes in rough weather we are not able to do it. But I would consider it one of the major reasons of stress. And another example is excessive time spent on digital devices. Since we don't have any other means, we end up spending a lot of time on our mobile or laptop, and we might not know, but it adds to our stress. It doesn't let us go into deep relaxation states, and it does create stress. I want to discuss about positive stress versus negative stress. Little bit stress is definite, it is must, which helps us go ahead, which it motivates us, and it helps us to achieve some things in life. But when this stress goes beyond control and it starts showing in your health, then that becomes a negative stress. And that is what we are going to address here. What are the indicators? When you should take care that yes, something is wrong. If you lose appetite, 1 or 2 days is okay. But if you constantly find that you are not able to have any appetite, then you must raise a red flag. Similarly, overeating. Again, 1 or 2 days is okay, but continuous more than 3 or 4 days, if you find that you are starting gaining weight, then it might be you might be stress eating. Physical health deterioration, again like gaining weight or hypertension or BP hypertension, is the main reason is stress. Even cardiac related problems, that is because of stress. Sleep disorder. If you are losing sleep, if you are not able to sleep, at least say your sleep is disturbed for 3 times in a week, then they say the doctors say that you might be suffering from insomnia. So a day or two is okay. We should not bother much about it. But if you are having a regular loss of sleep, then you must seek advice, seek help. Yeah. Depression, anxiety, anger. Depression means you're continuously having negative thoughts, one after the another, getting negative thoughts, and not able to manage. Then it's not right. Something is wrong. Anxiety. That means you're not able to relax, not able to be peaceful. Anger, getting angry or irritability. Sometimes anger is also necessary, little bit anger which you are able to know and you're able to judge and then able to control. But if it is going again and again, if you are feeling angry, that is irritability, then it could be because of the stress which is not being handled well, which needs to be taken care of. And if you are requiring drugs to deal with the stress, drugs means even sleeping pills or any other drugs, then this is an indicator of red flags. The stress has to be managed by professional ways or by the ways which we are going to discuss here. And we avoid stress. No, like I said, in the positive stress, we require certain amount of stress which will help us to propel ahead, which will help our organization, our company to go ahead. If there is no stress, then there is no chances of our uh, our promotion, our going ahead also. But it has to be under control. We have to know that this stress is now getting out of control and I need ways to control it. How to manage stress? Now coming to the most important part of the PPT. How should we manage stress? Let us discuss some points. And may I please tell you, because owing to the time and the limitations, I'm just giving you an overview and there are some key pointers. You can utilize them, but also please explore more and try to get rid of your stress and manage it very well. So let us discuss it in two ways. One is managing work. We'll be discussing some few tips which you can use in your work, during your work or day-to-day work, and which can be helpful. And second is managing yourself. I mean your inner self. That is very very helpful. Managing stress at work. Learn to manage time. Few things here. I would suggest being punctual. If you are if you aim to be on your watch at least 10-15 minutes before, then you are not stressed. Many times it happens that we are not ready, or as a management person, if you delay your being present at any place, then it unnecessarily it builds up stress. If you are at your workplace little bit ahead of time, you're much relaxed. You can assess the situation and the stress ultimately. So you have to make it a policy that we have to be punctual. That will help control the stress a lot. Secondly, we must learn skills to ease our work. For example, a new officer. Suppose a very simple example I'll give: Excel sheet. Those who are not very conversant with Excel, it gives unnecessary stress to to find out things, add link formulas and all. We can just take a small tutorial from somewhere and build that skill. Second example we can give is suppose a chief engineer, a second engineer, he has to say he and he has to operate OWS. Then he must ask the person who are there or refer to the manuals, or nowadays all the ships have got internet, refer to the YouTube and build up your skill. Whichever work you are going to do, if you build your skill, that reduces a lot of stress. Learn to say no, don't overcome it. um, Sometimes because of the pressure, our seniors, sometimes master is also under a lot of pressure, he has no other option but to delegate a lot of work. So being at a lower level is, suppose you're at a talking from a junior officer's point of view, I don't mean that you should say no, but you can be very, you can say that, sir, these jobs can be done now. I will let us prioritize this. I will do this, and the next jobs I will do it as fast as possible, as soon as possible. Here, I would like to mention about this thing which I have used a lot, which I still use. We have to differentiate the work between urgent and important. So the works which are urgent and important, they must be done first. Secondly, the works which are urgent but not important, they should be done second. And third, the works which are not urgent but important, that has to be done. And any work which doesn't fall into these categories can be can be postponed till the time you are in a uh, relaxed time. That time you can do. Here I would also like to point out that your day, you should begin with a high energy work which which requires a lot of attention, or it is giving some kind of stress, that should not be pushed on to the end of the day. You should try to do it as soon as possible. That will help to keep your brain much relaxed, mind much relaxed. Another wonderful thing which I always use is a very good thing is, we what happens during any situation, interpersonal relations, we people tend to react, but instead of reacting, we must try to respond. Well, it is easier said than done, but with the further things which we are going to discuss here, yoga, meditation, you should develop this habit. One can develop this habit, and it really helps that if any situation comes in front of you, instead of immediately reacting, you just listen to it, give a moment, give a pause, and think about all other things, and then respond. You can avoid reacting, because if you don't react, the other person also immediately won't will not react usually. That is a reason of interpersonal tips. So please try to this I think this thing I practice myself also. It has been very helpful. You have to learn to respond instead of react, and this will help also to maintain a good relationship at workplace. We must consider the other's viewpoint also. The other person, whatever he's saying, we have to not only listen to him but try to understand him from his viewpoint. It will be very, very helpful, and he will also understand that yes, my boss, my superior, or my colleague is trying to at least listen to me. And then, okay, if it cannot be done, it cannot be done, but at least we have to listen and understand that whatever the other person is telling, it might mean something. Everybody has got a right to say his own thing, and nowadays, we are doing various exercises, bridge team management, maritime resource management, where they are telling that my way highway type of management doesn't work anymore. We have to adopt the dolphin style, where we have to listen to everybody. Even the lowest person of lowest ranking member of the team should be given an ear. Next, I would like to say that if you are getting stuck anywhere, we must not hesitate to take guidance from our seniors, or in case of management, people taking the guidance from the company, or even if somebody, suppose, say for example, you're an electrical officer and you find that there is some issue with some particular thing, uh, you should not feel small or anything, and taking the guidance from the person who has signed off. What's wrong? It really helps a lot. Now, coming to the points where we must try to manage ourselves, our internal self, develop a hobby, any hobby, reading, listening to music. Better if we can play music. It's very good. Mm, Watching movies and all, it's not a very great hobby or something. It should be some creativity. Some creative should be there. Good sleep is the very important thing. We will discuss how we can get good sleep in the further slides. But if a person who is getting, because most of the things, mental or physical, our the nature has given us this a big tool. When we sleep well, all the things can be taken care in the sleep. Body repairs itself, mind repairs itself. Deep breathing is very helpful. Whenever you are in any anxious, any anxiety situation, you should never forget to breathe deep. Deep breathing provides a lot of oxygen to the brain, and most of the situations are diffused by deep breathing. Mostly we don't breathe deep. The breathing is left to the subconscious mind. It keeps on going on its own pace. But being a master out at sea, I have many times I remember this technique and I practice it. And in certain stressful situations, if you slowly you can develop this habit that yes, I have to breathe deep. You just take two or three deep breaths and immediately the perspective changes. It's very good. Laughing therapy. Laughing is very good. You should sometimes you should watch some humorous movie, or there are a lot of there is a lot of material available on laugh therapy. Different types of laughters are there, and it is really very helpful to diffuse the stress. Cognitive behavioral techniques are there, where there are various suggestions where you can change your negative thought patterns, because you are just talking to yourself, and if it is a negative thought, it creates a lot of stress. It can be, and it should be curtailed. Now, various helpful techniques to manage stress. Yeah. Exercise. Exercise releases endorphins, and it helps you to keep happy. You must decide one time of the day, and that time you must exercise. Exercising is very important, and exercising helps also to sleep well. Also, on ship we can just a brisk walk, or if the weather is good, the treadmill is operating, or you can just run 10 minutes on a treadmill, or you know table tennis playing. If you are having any kind of stress, if you think you are being the red flags which we discussed, then you must incorporate exercise in your daily regime on the ship. Healthy diet is very important. We must include more and more raw material in our raw food items in our diet, like salads, fruits, and nuts, berries. And we should also cut down on the junk food. Cut down on junk food, means sugar, excess of sugar, excess of caffeine. Too much of caffeine is not at all good. At least they say 6 hours before going to bed. Suppose usually say, for example, you are sleeping at 10 o'clock at night. Then after 4 o'clock, you must not take coffee at all. In fact, I remember seeing one stress management technique had come from IMO that also had these things about reducing your caffeine intake. So that is very necessary. And vitamin C is a very great, is a fantastic food, and we must make sure that we increase and continue to take the steady intake of vitamin C. That is very helpful. Now coming to yoga. Thanks, being from India, this is not at all a new term to us. And yoga is a special exercises, but they are yoga is also a way of life. If you start doing some yogasanas, then automatically other things start falling into the line. And yogasanas are done in tandem with the Breathing. So breathing also improves, flexibility improves, and plus exercise also happens. It's yoga endless. There is endless benefits are there. Pranayam. There are different types of pranayams are you can check, and it's beyond the scope of this video to discuss everything in detail, but we must incorporate yoga. I practice yoga daily, and I think more and more people are practicing it now. Various schools of yoga are available in India where you can take a class and try to do it regularly even on ship, and even help your colleagues to you can have a group yoga session on which I used to on the ship wherever possible. I used to do it regularly on my ship, and many of my fellow seafarers have benefited from it. Meditation. There are different types of meditation has been around for for thousands of years, and there are many ways of meditation. Thorough meditation, mindfulness, ish, yoga. So there are you have to choose one of these and start practicing it. And initially, it might be little difficult, but once you start doing it regularly, it is really very. I would like to tell I practice heartfulness from last 4 to 5 years, and it has helped me tremendously. I am also a certified heartfulness trainer, and it the stress stays far away from the people who are meditating. And if you're relaxed, if you're calm, and in your if you're in a management position and all, then if you're free of stress, then your workforce also remains free of stress. It is very good. In heartfulness, we just meditate on the source of divine light in our heart, 20 minutes or 25 minutes in the morning, and then similar process in the evening. And I would urge all of you to please check YouTube heartfulness.org, and try to adopt heartfulness or any of the meditations which you feel good. It is really very good. Now, when if suppose on board or even at home, if you start feeling that you are not able to control your stress, then there is help available in various ways. One of the ways is 24/7 helplines offered by ISWAN, NUSI, or there might be other organizations also. ISWAN, Mr. Chirag Bhari is doing a very good job, and you can always call this number and seek help. I would also like to mention something about resilience. Like most of the companies are including this training about resilience in some way or the other. I think Shell has also got a program where they speak about resilience and developing it. So, what is actually resilience is our capability to rise up to the occasion to fight whatever negative things we have come under pressure or something, and then give our best. So, resilience has got it can be, suppose you are under a great stress, then you have automatically you have three options in front of you. One is either you just give it to that stress, do nothing, and say, oh, I cannot do anything, and which we never have to take that option. Second option is which is the very good option is ask for help. Immediately you should ask for help in any stress, and help is around, because the problem which we must know that the problem which we are facing is not a new problem. It's not a novel problem. Every problem has been faced by people in the past, and there are solutions available, but we must go and seek them. Then we can be benefited. And third, and the very best way is the situation in which you are there. If you are able to come out with such a solution which everybody can be benefited. If we are able to do it, then nothing like that. So these are the numbers which few of the numbers which I have gathered here. So, just to recap and conclusion is, if you find out that your stress is going out of control, then please address it. There are ways to control the stress, and you can by that you can live a more fulfilled life, and your industry, our industry, can be benefited a lot. So, this is my expectation, and I hope that everyone will be benefited. So if you have any questions, I'll be most happy to receive them on my official email ID chb@himtcollege.com. Thanks a lot for viewing. If you like, please like and share the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much once.